rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. I want you to see this. Now the Bible says there were other people who are watching the developments. As it happens in your life, there are those people that you used to live together that who knows you, your friends, your enemies, your family members, those who always wanted some good things for you and others who never wanted anything good for you. In equal measure, they're still watching how you're developing, how you live, how you survive, your welfare, how you're expanding, your successes. And when you may think that your success, your life is your life, nobody bothers. No. There are people who are really bothered by how you live. You get me? There are families that they cannot stand to see you together. There are people they cannot stand to hear that now you have a new school. And maybe in your school, there are those who can't stand them. You are amongst them. There are those who can't stand to see you having a new job. There are those who can't stand to hear that something different, that something good is happening in your life. The enemy cannot stand it. And even when he has no business about it, he wants to make it his own business. Why? Because his aim is to steal, and that which he cannot steal, he wants to kill. If he cannot kill, he wants to make sure he has destroyed it. So don't be surprised that you had something so good, and all of a sudden it begins to crumble. Don't blame your wife, don't blame your brother, don't blame your sister. It is the enemy who is instigating this. So it was with Nehemiah. When he took up the calling of God and he was doing it so well, he embraced the challenge. And he said, by embracing the challenge, my refusal to fail. So he went on with carrying on what God wanted him to do. He started with mobilizing and building the wall of Jerusalem. Those who, by the way, did you know there are those people who are entertained by your miseries? Entertained by your miseries. Do you know there are people who really enjoy to see you struggle? Huh? There are people who wake up every morning, they want to make sure they see you are in pain. They sleep, conniving, planning. They will go to extra lengths and haste to make sure that they drag you to the worst people. They wish you the worst, and when you meet them, they are the best who smiles. They will correct, they will pretend even to be your friends. Probably some of them, they're family members. Even some, you have really gone way out of your way to help them. Sometimes we have sacrificed so much to people who have turned around to become pain to us. There are people who really want to see you really go to hell. Not because of benefit of anything, but they will have some time to laugh. They will have some story to tell. They will have something to tell. They will have some, I don't know what they stand to gain. Don't be surprised when your name has been dragged and taken. The highest places some people know. Your name has become a subject in some people's dinner table, planning table, meeting tables. Just making sure that which you seem to be enjoying, they don't believe that you have a right to happiness. And if you want to have some happiness or some kind of a joy, it has to be by their description. That's how the enemy was. And you can see it from this story. Now, the story is talking about a guy called Sanballat. Sanballat was a guy who lived and was enjoying and was benefiting in the miseries of the people that were left in Jerusalem. right? He was enjoying because he was a master and he could actually mobilize things in people. Because when people are oppressed, people that are scared, it is easy to manipulate them. It is easy to enslave them and to make them do whatever you want. And the enemy, this is what he uses. He uses scare tactics. If you just buy into enemy's fear, you are in for it. So he had managed to cow the people that were living in Jerusalem. He had managed to actually capitalize on the poverty and the degradation of the communities that were left behind in Jerusalem. So he was actually using that. And as I said, there are people who actually, they live day and night looking at what is wrong, what can I use against Sister Lucy, against my brother. What is his weakness? What is her weakness? And once they capture it, they will pull it to the highest level, just to make sure they beat you on the backside. Whatever they stand to gain out of that, I don't know. Now, Sanballat was of that category. And there's so many Sanballats in our lives. But tell him, his mission has a time. Glory to God. The Bible says that Sanballat was a very angry man when he learned that when we were rebuilding the wall. Now, Nehemiah has taken the challenge and he has started the mission and everything is going on. The news reached this guy called Sanballat and he began, who gave them the permission to do that? Don't they know I'm the one who says, who does things, who says things here? I'm the guy to consult. They didn't ask me for it. I said they needed to go and ask him for information to reconcile. You know, there are some people who want, before you even do something about to better your life, they really want you to seek their opinion. Maybe it's me, maybe you don't, it doesn't happen. But it has happened to me so many times. So this guy called Sanballat, he had it and he was so angry. So he flew into a rage and mocked the Jews, saying, in front of his friends and the Samaritan army officer, what does this bunch of poor feeble Jews think they're doing? Do they think they can build the wall in a day and they offer enough sacrifices? Look at those charred stones they are pulling out of the rubbish and using it again. Then another guy, his friend called Tobias, the Ammonite. And Matthew, the Bible is really highlighting Tobias. Where was he from? He was an Ammonite. And you know the story when it comes to who were the Ammonites and their relationship to the Israelites. You will see where the problem has emanated, right? Some of these generational issues and tribal and community hostilities has come from. Now, he says, who was standing beside him? He made this man. But the stones would collapse if even the foxes walked around them. Then I prayed when I had then I prayed, hear us, O our God, for we are being mocked. May the scoffing fall back on their own head, and may they themselves become captives in the foreign land. Do not ignore their guilt. Do not blot out their sin, for they have provoked you to anger here in the presence of the builders. Now, I want you to take heed. This is Nehemiah. He has heard what they are saying. The news has come, and they mocked him, and they did not mock him. They did not mock him. They did not call him aside in the office and start asking all these questions. They came to challenge him in presence of the people he was leading. Right? there is no degradation of the highest level like this one, undermining his authority. But what they did not know is that they were undermining authority from God, because Nehemiah did not send him. Nehemiah had an okay from God. So this guy called Tobias, the Ammonites, he started even mocking mocking him and the rest of the community. And those people, they were working so hard. They were proud that they had been allowed to go back and rebuild their territory. They build their nation. They build their land. They are proud that they want to actually be in a place where they can call their own. But because that place somebody else had inhabited it and was benefiting for it, they do not want to see them rise up or become anything good. So, and when you rise up and begin to do something good for yourself, the enemy who has been benefiting in sitting upon your blessings, he will always rise up. Hello? He will always rise up. And he will start mocking you. He will start mocking you with discouragement. He will start mocking you by giving you some issues, by diverting your attention, taking you into other places, making sure that which you should concentrate on. You're losing your focus on the things that God has spoken to you, the things that are matters to you, the things of the focus of your life. You start intermingling with the scuffles and hassles and the struggles that are not necessary. Why you should be rebuilding your life, rebuilding people around you, building yourself, and making sure that you're running towards your goals. He will start giving you some other direction, some other attention, some other ideas, and before you know, you're wasting a lot of time fighting unnecessary battles. Some of us, we are here where we are because we have been fighting some battles that are not ours. And they're very unnecessary. I was talking to a friend last night, and actually she challenged me. And we were discussing on how some issues happens in people's lives, and we were trying to relate a case in my life. And she was analyzing and saying, you know what? The problem is not even those you think that they're your problem. The problem is you. Because there's something in you that keeps on drawing you back to where they will cause you pain. So if they cause you pain, do not come around and start complaining about them, because it is you who voluntarily went back to them. And when they sat back and started thinking, for sure, some pain, some issues that I really detest and I'm contending with, they're of my own making. So it is time for us to look into our lives and begin to determine, why do I have to stay here? Why do I have to go through this? Is there something I can do? What are you saying is about this? God is saying that arise up and shine, because I'm beginning to do something new. There's something new I'm just about to do in your life. All you need is to embrace it. I have okayed that you should have a change. You should have a change of lifestyle, a change in your destiny. The course of direction that you're taking is not right. I have ordered that you change it. But then the issue is that we're so much used to where we are. And when we take a step, the enemy scares us with some stories, and the easiest thing is to regress back into our comfort zone. Isn't it? Now, Tobias came with a story. Now, don't forget that he is an Ammonite. And Ammonites, these are the descendants of Noah. Right? And as descendants of Noah, they are descendants that actually, the sons of Noah that came from the loins of Noah through incestuous relationship with his daughters. So from that, the enemy will always try and do things to make sure that he corrupts the seed of God. Noah, as a righteous man as he was, after the flood, His daughters did not trust that God would give them husbands, and they connived to make sure they have children with their father, just to keep the lineage going. So the enemy sought to corrupt the seed of God. And from there they received the curse. And way back when now God comes and calls Abraham, and the Jewish lineage is, the nation of the Jews is born, and it comes up as a blessed nation. All these other nations, they are angry. They are angry that these people, they are called the blessed. They are angry that even when they do abominable things, God always forgives them. They are angry that when they are going through tough times, God comes and shows up for them. They are angry that when they are hungry, God sends manna from heaven to feed them for 40 years. They are angry that God comes and fights their battles and gives them victory. This is what the enemy is angry about you. Hello? This is what the enemy is angry about you. And he's not angry, he's decided to do something about it. That's why he comes to discourage you. He comes to discourage us. So this Ammonite decides to really undermine what God has inspired in the heart of their mind. And I want you to take your minds back. I want you to see yourself today. The things that God has inspired your heart to do for Him. How many times has the enemy come to actually discourage you from doing it? How many times have you woken up and you had some story from church and you feel, am I still going to go there? How many times have you woken up that you want to go and visit somebody, then you hear the story, that the comment or the story they tell about you, and you feel, and he's the person I want to go and help. How many times have we had things that are driving us down and curtailing our progress and our zeal to serve God? This is an Arabic law. Tobiah says, what they are doing, even the foxes, they're working so hard to try and dig up the rumbles of the fallen, they don't even have the rocks and the blocks to build the wall they want to do. What they are doing, even a fox would jump on it and would collapse. It was as weak as that. But they failed to see the point. It was not